Hi, I'm Vivian Taylor. I'm 23 years old and I just finished up a position as the digital marketing manager for Nimnicht family of dealerships. Yeah, I consider myself a feminist. I think that just talking like the general overall, like what is being a feminist, I think just in general it's wanting to be treated on the same playing field as a man wherever you go, whether it be the workspace or your home life or anything along those lines, and that can vary for different people, but just in terms of standard feminism, just being treated on the same level. When I think of feminism, it definitely creates a positive emotion in me. I don't think it's negative to be a feminist. People, I think, for some reason associate it negatively only because people are like, oh, people who are feminists are complainers and they never are satisfied with where they are and they just want more benefits than men. And I'm like, no, a feminist just means I want to be treated just like any other guy in the workplace or at home, just in social life. It's positive because it means I believe in myself and my skills, and I believe that the skills that I have are on the same playing field as any man, and that my payment or whatever else is entailed with that should reflect my confidence and my skills. I think when you're talking about rights, I think just like by law, no. By law, I don't think there are certain rights that men enjoy more than women, but in terms of how people are treated or how those rights are attributed to people, I think that's different in the sense of, say for example, you go to a workplace and everyone says, okay, you're supposed to be, treated equally, you all get the same amount of vacation time, there's things that you can't discriminate based on color and race, things of that nature. But I think that when it comes into a workplace, it's obvious, as we've seen time and time again, that a man and a woman can be working the same job with the same amount of experience, but purely because he's a man, he's suddenly paid more than a woman, which that doesn't really make sense to me. When I was working at Nimnicht family of dealerships, it was definitely mostly men, at least where I worked. If I were to work in HR, I think it was in HR it was mostly women. I think there's maybe like one man who worked in HR, but down where I worked, where I was working mostly on the showroom floor and working with the marketing manager. The marketing manager, it was just her and I. We were the only women that were on the showroom floor, and the rest were just men. The one piece of advice I have for girls entering the workplace is to not worry about, you hear all of the things that happen to women in the workplace, and I don't think you should go in there expecting those things to happen. I think you should just go in there expect to do your job and do it well and do the job to the best of your ability. I don't think you should go in there with, oh, I have to sneak around or be very careful about how I approach things because I don't want to put myself in these situations that I've heard that women fall into at the workplace. I think just go in there, do your job. If the situation happens, then, you work around that however you see fit, but I don't think you should go in expecting every workplace you go into to have some kind of, more misogynistic view or something like that. The one piece of advice I have for men going into the workplace, it would virtually be the same advice I have for women. The only thing I would say differs from that is if you have heard of these things that happen to women more in the workplace, I wouldn't necessarily say treat women very delicately so those situations don't happen. Just treat them like any of your other coworkers. It's basically what I've been saying. Don't go into the workplace assuming that these certain situations are going to happen or thinking that these women coming into your workplace are going to think that, some kind of sexual harassment thing is going to happen to them or they're going to be paid less. Don't go into the workplace thinking that the women think that way. Just treat them like any other employee, treat them with respect, and have a good working relationship.